Colleagues, honorable members, welcome to the meeting of the Multi-Party Women's Caucus. I welcome you as the mothers of the nation. We have to observe the fact that when we start our meeting, as we are starting, we need to mute. You'll only unmute when we are talking. Also, they are saying that because we are live, we need to when you speak, you need to put the camera on, and then so that we know who is speaking, get that understanding. The agenda is being beamed in the screen. I think that all of us, we are here. The others, the apologies that we got, it's from Honorable Dube, who is having a cabinet meeting and the other committees. We have the apology for Honorable Cele, ZL, who said she will join us late, and then Honorable Bani that said also will join us late. And we are waiting other members, as Honorable Fraser was indicating that they are still coming in. They will join us when we are continuing with the meeting. I must indicate, colleagues, also to have the apology, because I may request Honorable Zungu to continue if we are not finished with the meeting. I'm having the meeting with the President together with the other religious leaders at 4 o'clock. So I will have to leave and then request the Honorable Zungu to take over. Colleagues, can we beam the program? I think the meeting correct. We have to move to. I was relying on the agenda on the screen, colleagues. My apology. The meeting correct. I will then request the adoption of the agenda.
Chairperson Maggie Govender, I move for adoption.
Thank you, Honorable Govender. Move for adoption. Any seconder?
Chairperson, second.
Chairperson.
Ngubane.
Yes, I second the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you very much, colleagues. I must indicate, colleagues, that today is only the adoption of the report that is presented before us, which is the minutes, the report of the 4th February 2020 on the workshop that took place in Richards Bay, and then the draft AOP. I must also indicate, colleagues, that the officials were trying for us to get the training on the protocol, but unfortunately the staff that is working on the training is not taken as an essential work. So today on the 13th, we're supposed to get the workshop together with the approval of this report. But we will then request that because the minutes, the report of the capacity building workshop and the draft AOP was sent to all of us, it's only just to adopt these three documents that has been presented before us that was sent to us. So that is the reason for today's meeting, because the workshop did not take place because the DECO replied late and indicated that they don't have the staff that can run the training. So I think it will follow late. It's only the approval of these three documents, colleagues. Can I go to 5.1 minutes of the meeting held on the 4th February 2020? Can I get the mover of the minutes or amendment if there are any other amendments? Colleagues, these are the minutes. They are running through here. Sorry, can we request that other colleagues switch off their mic?
IT awungenelele kunzima manje.
Can you switch off those mics that people are just making noise? We are in the minutes. Honorable members, can we have the mover of the minutes or amendment if there are any other amendments?
Chairperson, this is Honourable Rabe. I move for adoption of the minutes.
Thank you very much. Any seconder?
Yes, Chair, I second.
Chairperson,
Yes, who's speaking?
Chairperson, Honorable Mavuso is seconding.
Thank you very much. Any other view? I take that the minutes has been adopted. Thank you. Can we then move to the next item, which is the report of the capacity building workshop? Also, it's just to adopt the report of what transpired in the meeting, because the workshop did refer to the prioritization of the activities or of the AOP to the steering committee, and then the steering committee did take place. Colleagues, are you present? Yes, policy framework. These are the presentation that took place. Move up. Yes, presentations and discussions. Yes, move. Yes, go up. Thank you. This is the report on what transpired in the workshop, the presentations, the discussions. Over to you. Yes.
We move for adoption.
Honorable Fraser moves for adoption. Any seconder?
Honorable Flanga seconds, Honorable Fraser.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other view? I take that the report is adopted for the workshop. Now we are moving to 5.3, draft 2020-21 AOP. Also, the AOP also will recall that there were so many activities that were presented, and then the workshop took a decision to say that it must be referred to the steering committee to try and reprioritize. But I must indicate also that some of the activities that appears in this AOP were supposed to be done in April. But now, because of the COVID-19, some of the work that we're supposed to do has not been taken place. So maybe it will be moved forward. You can see there is 30th of April and the 30th of May. I think those particular items may be reprioritized, and also request the dates to deal with those particular matters because of the COVID-19. There was nothing that we could have done because of this challenge that we are having in the country and the world. This is the AOP that is being put before us. I must also remind the members that we agreed in the workshop that we are going to prioritize the empowerment of women in the legislature, and then we go up. We said in our AOPs we must prioritize the training. That is why we also talk about the protocol that we agreed that we'll do that. Now it did not take place because of the challenge of the COVID-19. Also the training that we said we need to know a dress code, something like that. So the staff is continuing. They were requesting the quotations from the service providers, but at the moment is not yet finalized. As soon as it is finalized, the members will be informed. So this is the AOP, but they must take note that some of the activities did not take place, but it has gone past because of this challenge we are facing.
Honorable Chair, can I say something?
Yes, Honorable Thakur, response.
Yeah, Chair, I didn't comment on the others because I was not at that meeting. But I think that I could bring some of what I wanted to say in the AOP, if it's allowed. The one thing I know that in the last meeting, it was adopted that you have an annual report to the House. But yes. I wanted to run something by the committee, and they can decide. You know, I really believe that if this committee has to make an impact, we should actually have a biannual report, one in the first 6 months and then the other in the next. And the reason I'm saying that is because the workshop had, planning for like a gender responsive planning session and budgeting. And I really believe that if we had a biannual reporting system, then in one session we would, as a committee, speak about gender-sensitive budgeting in our parliament. And in another session, we can look at the issues that are the need of the hour in a particular year, and maybe look at legislative reforms. So that was the one suggestion, and that somehow, if we take a decision, would affect the AOP. The other is that from the workshop, there was a report on the gender responsive planning and budgeting, and then 7 was on gender transformation in procurement. Now, I know I was not there, but I really want maybe a copy of whatever the slides or handouts were, because I see that on page 3 of the AOP in capacity building and empowerment, it's very well captured as the first important item on the gender responsive budgeting skills. The only thing is that a target date hasn't been given, but that would then cover that report, and it's an important thing that we should do and decide a target date on. But if we're doing that, and I'm glad that it's number 1 there, but with each MPR will need that report if they were not at that meeting. The other, because that then speaks to the biannual reporting on gender-sensitive budgeting. The second thing is that item on gender transformation in procurement is a very important oversight role of this committee, but I do agree that maybe we may not be able to do it, or we could do it as a focused intervention study. But on page 4 of the AOP, in submissions to the Quality of Life Committee, it's maybe one area, Honourable Chair, that we can think it's a very pertinent issue, that with the workshop done, maybe that the recommendations from there or way forward, if from our committee, it can be presented to the Quality of Life, and they can take that matter on, because they have more power in the House to change things. And I think that those were the three most important things that I wanted to make recommendations on for the AOP, Chair.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honourable Member. It is true that here we're coming to approve these reports, but your input is valuable, is important, because out of this report that we have approved today, we are going to take issues that are relevant to quality of life and send it, as you are correctly indicating. That's why we are fast tracking that this report must be approved, so that they become formal, and then the steering committee will just meet and then look at this report and take what is relevant and send it to the quality of life, because the sentiments of the workshop was to say that the Multi-Party Women's Caucus must work together with quality of life in most of the things, because quality of life, although they are broader, they are dealing with senior citizens, youth, and so on, but there is a component of the women which is important for us to work together on it. I think your contribution is more important. And also on the budget response agenda, to that one also, it's more important. We have also discussed with the official to say it needs to be prioritized, because now we are dealing with the budget and so on. We can't look at this budget with gender lens. So as I was indicating that they are trying to call upon the service providers, it's part of it because it's important. Maybe when the budget adjustment comes, maybe we will be empowered if we get them now with that workshop that you have raised as the priority that was raised in the workshop. So thank you very much for that. It's something that together with the steering committee, we are going to look at it and identify some of the issues that we have to refer to quality of life, because we are really supposed to work together. There is no way that a multi-party women's caucus can work alone. So because it's not a committee or a standing committee, it needs to refer to a standing committee or a committee, relevant committee, to deal with some of the issues that were raised in the workshop.
Chairperson, Maggie Govender.
Yes. Honourable Govender.
Thanks. I'd like to, in relation to our functions and powers.
Can we see you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Chairperson, in relation to our functions and powers, I'm looking specifically at in terms of point 2, promoting the discussion of women issues in the legislature. And Item 4, introducing a woman's perspective and focus in legislature activities. Chairperson, I think that we are fortunate in a sense as this committee to actually, or this caucus, to meet in the period where we are for the first time as a country and the world experiencing COVID-19. And I think our AOP should also reflect that, because, the experts are telling us that this is going to be with us for at least the next 2 years. So our activities should also encompass that. And I'm thinking that in line with our functions and powers, where our focus is on female members of the legislature, we should then look at the impact or include as part of our AOP the impact of COVID-19 on women legislators. And perhaps also look at measures that, as part of the discussion and the debate around it, also look at how one can actually facilitate the work of female legislators in this context. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very much also important, that one, because as we are talking today, they said the issue of the gender-based violence is very high since the COVID-19 started. I think it's something that we need really to discuss, because there are some other items that will reprioritize because the date has gone past. Can we invite the members? I think the officials are taking those suggestions from the honorable members so that we cannot lose them when we meet.
Honorable Chair, can I do a follow-up on Honorable Govender?
Yes.
Yeah, it was, she just reminded me of the point that I missed, and well, she's very right that we should include something on COVID. I just had a slightly different take as well that I feel could be considered, because I did see in the discussion of the last meeting in Feb, one of the items was that in terms of gender responsive budgeting, we were going to be looking at rural women, and I thought that this committee needs to do some sort of outreach program. And because women are so housebound now during COVID-19, and we want to be proactive, so maybe like if our officials can look into something, how we as a committee can undertake a project where we do something innovative like in job creation, but in terms of home industries, and have a rural bias. And that could be something that we could look on, because as Honorable Maggie was saying, that it's true, COVID's going to be here for the next 2-3 years. And maybe it's something we should look at, but I was looking at it more in a project that we can undertake that can sort of look at the rural bias as well and empowerment of women. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Outreach program.
Chair.
Can I hear there is a voice?
Chair, it's Fraser.
Honorable Fraser.
My hand has been up.
Oh, sorry, my sister.
Yeah, it's technology, Slal.
Hey, technology.
Chair, I think we might be tempted to go to each and every every topic and try to enhance it. People who were in the workshop were raising issues in broader sense, like, to make an example, gender responsive budgeting skills and bill analysis skills. We were looking at a broader picture. Then when we go into it, definitely we'll have a number of topics and subtopics that we'll address. I'm scared we might be tempted to start the workshop again, yet we did it. I therefore move for the adoption, Slal.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the adoption has been moved for the AOP. Can we get a seconder?
Honorable
Second,
Zulu.
colleagues.
Honorable
Zungu.
Chairperson.
Honorable
Honorable
Zungu wants to
Zungu has
second,
seconded.
but to cover or to cater for the request that was done by Honorable Rajbansi of them being given the presentation that was given that day, I think it's fair that our officials do consider that and do forward those documents to empower them with information that we shared. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I think most of the documents were never received because they are going to send it to us. I think it's really fair, Honorable Zungu, for what Honorable Raspanche has raised, to say those documents so that we can be empowered as women, go through it and read it. But now the report has been adopted, colleagues, AOP. I think this marks the end of our meeting, but I want to thank you, all of you. I can see now we are more than 20, the members that are around here. I see Honorable Mbata is here and Honorable Chairman Swartboy Ntombela and Gudlamini and all the other colleagues that I haven't seen because of the participants. I can't see all of them. I can see also Amanda that joined us, who made an apology that will join us late. Colleagues, thank you very much. I think we are going to look at all these reports now because they are official and identify those that will refer to quality of life so that they can make a follow-up and try and monitor those particular items, whether are we making an impact as the government of KwaZulu-Natal on those particular matters. So also on the issue of the AOP, we will look at it and the suggestions that the colleagues has made in this meeting. When we sit as a steering committee, we will look at them and come up with the program that will embrace all the inputs that has taken place in the workshop, as Honorable Fraser is correctly indicating that it was broad. That's why it was said that it is referred to the steering committee to look at it closer and then come up with different subtopics on those particular matters going forward. Honorable members, thank you very much for your contribution, suggestions. The meeting stand adjourned.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you,
Bye.
Chair.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everyone.
Chair.
Bye.
Thank you, Chair.
Bye.
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 Sacela ukunibona ukuthi nikhulupheke kangakanani, ake nivele nonke. Ake nivele nonke ngifuna ukunibona ukuthi nikhulupheke kangakanani. Ngoba phela
Usavelelwa nguwe Mavuso yini?
Oh.
ake nivele
Yeah,
nonke
Mavuso.
velani.
Bye.
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 Nikhulupheke kangakanani.